first Christmas, when a very special baby was born. You've probably heard of him. He is called Jesus, and he is the Son of God. His mother was Mary, and she was married to Joseph. You've probably heard of them too. You've probably not heard of Grumble though. Grumble the donkey was very grumpy and liked nothing better than to grumble. He had grumpy ears, a grumpy nose, and grumpy hooves. In fact, he was a whole bundle of grumbles. That day, however, he had much more to grumble about than usual. Mary and Joseph had to travel all the way to Bethlehem. It was a really long and difficult journey, especially for Mary, who was about to have a baby. Luckily, they had a donkey. Yes, that's right. Guess who had to carry Mary all the way? Grumble.
Okay, Isla, Bruce and Ivy, do you want to stand up?
Every time Mary asked how far it was, Joseph had said, "Not long now, Mary." Grumble just rolled his eyes. Joseph had said that 5 times already. Grumble had aching ears, an aching nose, and aching hooves. Finally, they arrived in Bethlehem. Unfortunately, so had everyone else in the land. At least, that's what it felt like. Mary and Joseph were pushed and shoved, trodden on, and barged past. It was enough to make even the cheeriest donkey cross. Grumble, however, was not a cheery donkey. Mary was exhausted. She knew her baby was going to be born soon, and they needed to find somewhere to stay as quickly as possible. Joseph asked all the innkeepers if they had any room, and they all said no.
Beth, Parry and Jake, do you want to stand up? No.
Felt sorry for Mary and Joseph. He had no room to spare, but he had an idea. They could use his stable. Grumble didn't like the sound of that. Stables were for animals like him. The last thing he wanted was humans in the nice quiet stable, and as for a crying baby, that sounded like a whole bundle of trouble. He decided to stay outside, where he could whinge and moan to himself in peace. That night, in the humble little stable in Bethlehem, the Son of God was born, Jesus, our Saviour. Meanwhile, in the hills above Bethlehem, some shepherds watched over their flock of sheep.
Lily, River, Logan, do you want to stand up? Happy get
Suddenly, there was a bright flash in the sky. The shepherds were terrified. The angel said, "Don't be scared, shepherds. We mean no harm." The angel Gabriel appeared, God's messenger, and had important news for them. The angel said, "I bring you good tidings of great joy. A king is born tonight, Jesus, the Son of God."
Angels, do you want to stand up?
The angel's singing was beautiful, but the shepherds found the whole thing a little bit scary. They desperately wanted to see the newborn king, but they were only humble shepherds.
Okay, shepherds, do you want to stand up? Ben and Quinn.
The shepherds went down the hillside into Bethlehem in search of the stable. When they found it, the shepherds were nervous all over again. They wondered if the baby would like them or if they were good enough to meet him. Travelling across the desert came 3 people who were far from poor and humble. There's a good chance you've heard of them too. They were very wise kings and had been following the star from the east for a long time. The star that they were following was very big. They knew that it would lead them all the way to a special baby. The star stopped outside the stable. Surely the special baby wouldn't be born in a stable. Suddenly, they found themselves full of doubt, and kings, probably because they are very important, are not used to feeling doubtful. Grumble the donkey scowled at this new set of visitors about to disturb his sleep. He asked, "Who are you?" And the king replied, "We are important kings."
Okay, wise men and Macy, do you want to stand up? Max and Leo, that's you.
It was peaceful and bathed in warm glow of love, which came from a tiny little baby snoozing in the manger. In their hearts, they all knew that Jesus was a very special baby. The kings and shepherds suddenly realized that they had no worry or doubt left in their hearts. The kings left gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They all gathered around the manger to greet him. Everyone in that humble little stable was filled to bursting with wonder, love, and joy. And from that day on, even Grumble the donkey realized the true power of joyfulness, and he never grumbled again.
Okay, does everyone want to stand up on their feet? Do you have